Adishimamba, yes, Sam George. Ne maame na kyese frausters yankase nim Momo frausters wo ha ne afro matende wo sei maye wo sei ni bi na kyese omo atumi ascam Sam George maame 24,000 Ghana cedis. Hey, sanse we na Ghana fo bi kyese nipa na minister of Hesa adwuma ne so ena ya scan ne maame de enya wanwa odi se fata se ye scam na che se ye Ghana fobi ede abeto emonte so ene ensem foforo bi ye beko na ya kwaji ensem mu nchemu aba na mese se aha eye ayehuti yenko na yekotie ensem bi emba
Sam George ne maame mobile money fraud for awia no 24,240 million Ghana minister our share system no so no fraud for nanya no 24,000 cedis 240 million Sam George mame
ene Ghana for modwene se Bawumia enye obi a obetumi win election. This is the biggest and the best performance by any sitting vice president in the history of Ghana. Let me give you an instance. Professor Mills, Ebrana Owoho, Nyame ni currency as vice president, no. SSaby say, enye 6 March bi na beba, na ye nim adwuma kra oye. We don't know what Professor Mills was doing. Some of us MPP actually have to come and educate NDC for say Professor Mills na ye we answer no say sa papa no oye ade 1 or 2 bi eden Ghana. But this is what happened. At Mills ba first time, you know. Ebrana Rollins if you are now beba no. E fan so on Rollins na na wo nti no. That factor na ye den ekutiano. And it is so in every presidential elections. Se oka team no ho a here usually no ya na ohun hin kakra. Uti ya na ohun hin kakra. But se o me ho a you can now come in as a neutral. So Charlie say ni say me say na me person me say na me person me. Enu hunti Dr. Bawumia was not only just ßaby vice president to be not to hope. This man was fighting for the first time in his own party a candidate that was not an akan. That's one factor. Me Chiremu said Dr. Bawumia really worked. Mami you winning free so. Dr. Bawumia really worked. Memo be another outside Dr. Bawumia didn't work. Because the max ya unya no see de compare one ya baby twemu na papa no ya de pa looking at the things ya na ekutia no already. Yeah, started 2020 and started Bawulaya. Odi Akufo-Addo bana de Bawumia ba. Odi Akufo-Addo bana de Bawumia ba. So that is one factor he had. Now, I was talking about Omo Ankasa party. For the first time, he was the non-Akan candidate here. For the first time, yeah, man opportunity say ondi enim. Enti sebio ahasomo fancheme. Yena kamfo ni bia. Your orientation and shedanye opened. And I say your civilization and shedanye that broad, no. Your wonkophobia or monomoda so genesa igbeni na mema ni medi me so. And kreni ni medi me so. Teni ni medi me so. Your wakan for motesa. Any your one tough for. Any your walk your friend is saying a before. Any your walk robo for any your walk other train for so almost someone pese. I can ni bedi me so. A natural thing. Sani etie. Sani nyame boy yen. Sa antina first no ye we ku na ke mu de ni na bebom but niam bu wa we be pene we be pene sa na tie. That is how God made it. Okay, so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a candidate here afei na na mwe no de na ba as the non-Akan say ombedi a predominantly Akan driven party. A predominantly Akan-driven party. So that was one hurdle alone to cross. But he did very well. Because Akanfo also came out to vote for him. That is a good thing. So but they came out to vote. Yes, vote no so to say because, like I said, there were hurdles are now heading or fighting, and that's one of them. And then he is also the candidate here. Now, apart from so no akasa ni internal for no any air strangle ni idea because some of them said they are kind of more orientation and away no. Now he now have to prove himself to Ghana for ye de say ye trim fitin kwalabre mu say Ghana there a Christo for man you because ubenya ni be a Pentecost for bodon apostolic for boy ensem ubenya ni a Church of Christ for church. So praise before the move Methodist for two hymns near the defrano. It makes us inculcated in a way say we feel say yeah Christo for and I say yeah Christo mine. But over your constitution as well, or say Ghana is a secular nation. Ghana a secular nation, but predominantly as a Christian or has a more Christian dominated population. That is all. Inti sa adieno was also one hurdler. Not Dr. Bawumia had to fight. And he fought that well to the point said we saw the true meaning pastors and men of God who actually were close to him and helping him out in his campaign and all of that. We saw that happen. So that was one thing. So Dr. Bawumia had to fight. Another thing that Dr. Bawumia had to fight, and then they said the demonization of his character started 4 years straight from 2020 to the election. Bawumia was on the chopping block for everybody. The chopping block. Until for him to even redeem himself, to be able to command a vote of that nature, no. I say MPP for Binom. I won't say Dr. Bawumia performed poorly in this election. There be election now one factor crack against what to say. And the ultimate of them all, that whole tribalistic way of voting had to come in play. That whole tribalistic thing had to come in play. So Dr. Bawumia had to fight over 7 hurdles. You know what is more dangerous? He was the vice president. So whichever anger people had towards the past government was coming to him. So tell me, when somebody manages out of all these things to come up with 41% as a first timer, and you sit down and tell me that person didn't perform, then I'm sorry, you are only doing the regular type of politics, no, even penasem or ye cremoni or ye creni or ye tugbe or ye one and pesa. That is what we are doing. And funny enough, that hasn't developed in a nation. Not that I know. Or maybe anyone has had a developer. No. Intimesre. More modern nam send about Bawumia Krumufu and to Abama and let me the receipt naturally. Menkawatro. Now let's get into the main reason why we came here. Dr. Bawumia, maybe I will be a shedding. Now me suru shedding wo yesumu. Unyamia wo somno dada. Eyono no beji wo. Unyamia wo somno dada. Eyono no beji wo. Why? Me suru. Me hihim. Me muhu. So cheni buse den krana de nyame akafa wo Dr. Bawumia wo no eno ne bebem na nka wan na dwene sa akoda ketu a wo sakasaka early park biso Dr. Bawumia park biso ohia ni biba a woni bi adesua ahobrase enti ena yesi ye pe enkrofo ma wo mu akotu wiase amansan, the people who manages the economies of people of countries, big names ye po obi ni omo akokasa adenti na enkrofo we ya omunim ade ehwehwe obi man ni omo akasa because dia won nim wo book no no wo ma ye ni na enye adwuma